Hello there, welcome to a quick demo of the My Flows page. This is our kind of end-to-end styled product which lets you set up automations to run every single day, week, month, or whatever you want for however many iterations of a different task. So I'm going to go in here and create a new flow. We'll call this demo flow. We'll create this, and what you see here is the canvas. So you can drag this around by grabbing it, dragging it around. You can add a new block via this or via this. And what I think I want to set up here is storing Rufus questions into a table in Jarvio. So I'm going to start out by pulling in a report. I'm going to pull in the all listings report. So we can see here that there is a list of 98 products here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through these. Actually, I'll start out by just querying it once. So let's go plug this in. I've got this set up. I don't have this set up. So what I'm going to do is click save, click run. This is going to fail because it's not set up yet. My data runs. And Rufus now needs us to pull in an ASIN. So let me pull in an ASIN and give this another run. Okay, now we can see that this has generated an output with 10 different questions. So that's perfect. Now what I want to do is loop through all of our products and save these in Jarvio. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to start out by disconnecting this. I'm going to add in a loop here. I'm going to put this in here. And now I'm going to swap out the ASIN for the loop ASIN. And what I'm going to do is set the loop to 1. So this is kind of a inside trick. It's easier to test things if it doesn't have to do it 100 times while you're testing it. And we have this outputted here. So let me actually just go append Jarvio table rows. Put this in here, and I'm going to go. I'm going to run this so that it gets the data. Loop is set to 1. Let's click run, and we have here all the data we need for this to be set up. So I'm going to make a new table called demo Rufus questions, demo Rufus queues. I'm going to get it to append one row at a time in the loop. So think about it, all rows means it would append a whole table, one row means you're doing one ASIN at a time, and then I'm just going to go in here and add my columns. So I'm going to go ahead and add in ASIN, Q1, Q2, I should fast forward this. 3, Q4, Q5, Q6, Q7, Q8, Q9, and Q10. And now that I have my columns named, it doesn't matter if you do it in that order, but I'm just going to drag in ASIN. I'm going to drag in 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. Okay, so now I've got this all set up. I'm going to do one quick run through to make sure that it saves as we intend to Jarvio. I might want to see this appear in the My Data page. So one row has been added, so let's go into My Data and check that out. So in generated tables, we now have demo Rufus queues, and we have all of our questions here and the ASIN. And what I'm going to do now is change this to run for all of our products. So let's set this to do 100, and let's just click run. So you can see now that this is looping through 98 different products. It's just going to go, go, go. If I go over to our My Data page, I can see here that this is all coming in, adding new columns again and again and again. And this will loop through until we have all 100. And what I've actually spotted here is that I set this up to append rows to the same version. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. So every time this runs, it's going to create a new version, because that's kind of an easier way to do it than making one massive table. So you'll see in this append to Jarvio tables block, you have the option to append rows to the same version, or you can create a new version every time it runs. The workflows and the agent are able to work with both big tables and multiple versions. So it's really up to you here. When I click run here again, we should see a new version gets created of this table, and I'll show you that. So back in my data, and we have demo Rufus questions, and now we have version 2 latest. So while this runs, this is a bit technical now, so give it 30 minutes to get used to it, but while it runs, one loop will just keep adding to that version until it runs again. But we can see here we had our first version where we were going to add everything, and then we have our second version that is running right now, and you can click refresh on this as this goes, and you'll see new rows get added. So there we have it. That is how to build your first flow storing a table in Jarvio. Come over here to our generated tables. You'll see now in just a few minutes it has generated, how many do we have here? 68 different rows. And as I refresh this, 69 rows. Perfect. So yeah, you can leave these to run for hours. If you have massive amount of ASINs or SKUs, your flows are going to be really handy for storing that information for you, and then you can kind of use the agent to check across versions or whatever you might want to do with it. If you have any questions, you can click this button here in the top right, click get support, book a demo with us, and yeah, hope you are enjoying.